वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Welcome to another episode of Ek Shabad. Title of today's episode is Preparation to Meet God and His Jury. In this episode, I will be talking about a verse from Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is most commonly used, and we use it many times a day, every day, all through our life. But many times we don't really realize the depth of this verse and the meaning behind why we use this word before every ardas. So today I'll make an effort to explain this verse so that we can understand it better and then make more use of it and get maximum benefit from it. Before I start this episode, I would also like to remind all of you that this episode will be continued in another episode where we will actually meet God and His jury. So today is about preparation, and let us see how we can prepare to meet God and His jury. Just think that for whatever reason, either you, your relative, your friend, someone you know, or even if you don't know, has to appear before a judge and a jury. So you are not going to go there without any preparation. You will be doing a lot of preparation before you actually appear before a judge and his jury. So you might hire a solicitor, a lawyer, barrister, a legal advisor, tell him whatever you want to say, and based on the facts which you have given, based on whatever you have told him or her, they will then write a statement for you. And that statement will be the statement of facts and your feelings, your truth, whatever you want to say, and from your point of view, what the circumstances were, are, or what would you like out of that case. So all sorts of things will be combined there, but that's how you are preparing to go there. And it will be then your defense who has to then appear before the judge, present this statement before the judge, and then depends based on the hearing what the result is and what the verdict will be. If this is true in worldly sense, then this jury is listening to all the statements, all the work you have done, all the preparation you have made. This is being heard very, very carefully by the jury, who are now trying to analyze your statement, your defense, and then they have to make a decision based on that. And a judge was listening as well, and he has to make sure that there is no miscarriage of justice. But still, in worldly courts, many would complain, oh yes, there was a miscarriage of justice in my case. But in God and before His jury, there is never a miscarriage of justice. So with this kind of background in our mind, we will move forward and see what this episode tells us today. The shabad which I have chosen for today is from Sukhmani Sahab, very widely read part by everyone for many, many reasons. And this verse is the last or 8th verse of 4th Ashtapadi of Sukhmani Sahib Ji. The Bani was revealed by God to and composed by Guru Arjan Dev Ji in Rag, Gaudi, Sukhmani, Mahalla Panjwa, as we say. And in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, we can see this Bani on page 268 or Ang 268. The Bani Sukhmani Sahib starts from page 262. Before we go into the Shabad, we will go through some words from the Shabad with their pronunciation and meanings. Reason I do this part of the episode on each episode is so that we can learn to pronounce Bani correctly, understand some meanings behind that, so that when we hear this Shabad or verse uttered somewhere, read somewhere, or we read it ourselves, we can make more use of it by understanding the meaning behind the verse. So, the Shabad which I wanted to, the words which I wanted to talk to you about, share with you, and I have seen people pronouncing correctly or incorrectly, I have chosen these words from the verse. The first word is tu, which is singular, and many times I have heard people say tum. So please remember, the verse starts with tu, which is singular, meaning you. And second word you will hear is tum, which is plural, but at the same time it is out of respect as well. When we speak to someone with respect in Punjabi and add G, it becomes more like plural. So first tu, then you will hear the word tum, and then comes ardas. Ardas means prayer, and the sehari on sassa tells us that it is feminine, prayer or plea. So we are going to be preparing ourselves for ardas. Next word is jio, which means my life, my soul. Pind, pinda, body. That's why there is onkar under dadda, which makes it masculine. Ras. Ras is my property, my capital, or the gifts you have given to me since I was born. Ras is again feminine because there's a sehari before sassa. Some other words are barik, and many times people would say balak, which is incorrect. Barik, meaning is the same, but the word here is barik, children, we are your children. Now, next word is kripa. Isnu kirpa nahi padna. Don't pronounce kirpa. There is kirpa as well. That is Punjabi version of kripa, which has come from Sanskrit through Prakrit and Hindi, and it is written kripa. The difference will be when you say kirpa, sehari goes on kakka, but when you say kripa, sehari goes on rara. So there are quite a few words like that which need to be pronounced with care. Kripa, benediction, blessing, kanere, a lot, in plenty, plentiful, Next word is jane, which is with dulama. A is the sound, not A. Jane. Knows. So that means jane is in present tense. So even in 21st century, this word makes the verse come into present tense. Jane. Even today in 21st century, no one knows. Bhagwant, Lord, God, Vaheguru. Next word is samagri. Samagri is your creation, whatever we see around us, everything, anything and everything in the creation, that is his samagri, including ourselves. Tumre, again, tumre is with dulama, not tumre. Tumre. Tumra is your. Sutartari. Sutartari. You have strung together, beaded together. Although everything has its identity, separate identity, they look very different from one another. Although they are separate, but they have been strung together, they are complementary to each other. They are dependent upon each other. We talk about global warming nowadays, but think about that complementary nature of all the things in this creation. Now this next one is very, very important, and many, many times you would see in every Gurdwara, wherever I've been, that someone somewhere will definitely pronounce it wrongly. The words are tum te. Te is important because many times I have seen people saying tum se. It is not tum se, tum te. Remember all the time and make use of it and pronounce it correctly, please. Tum te, through you, by you, out of you. This can be different meanings. Through you. Agyakari. Agyakari. We are all in your obedience. We are under your command. So it is your command that is running us. Gat, movement, myth, limit, expense. Both with Sihari, that means both of them are feminine, according to Gurbani grammar. Now again, as we said tum te before, the next two words are tum hi. And you will sometime hear people saying it tumri. It's not tumri, it is tum hi, only you. Tum hi. So with those words, now having seen the words together, these words will help us to go through the verse, understand its meaning, and it's not just because we have listened to the Kirtan, we have heard the Anand Sahib diyan 6 paudiyaan, and now we have to stand up for Ardas. I'm only talking about collective, formal Ardas, whether it is at home or in Gurdwara. There are many other ways of doing Ardas as well, but today we are only talking about this formal Ardas. When we stand up there, that means out of respect, and also we have to be alert, we have to be awake, and we have to know that we are standing before someone who is greater than I or you. Who is the greatest? In this context, highest of I, my Lord, Vaheguruji. So now each time, whenever we read one verse, and many times you would have seen that when this verse is said, when this verse is being read or sung or recited, Tu Thakar Tum Pe Ardas, most of the people, either they are talking or they are sort of, trying to get up and things like that. Yeah, that's also part of preparation, but your concentration at that time, total concentration should be that I am standing before the highest authority, so I have to be respectful, awake, and it's my attention time. So let us look at that. Each time, with each verse, how my psyche should change, how my psychology should change, how my concentration should increase, how my focus should be on my ardas now. And we are only preparing to meet God and His jury. So that is the purpose. So we are not just standing there. We are now going to meet God and His jury. We are preparing for that. And in that preparation, we have to make sure that we are there wholly, fully, bodily, with mind as well as with soul. So you'll say, Tu Thakur, Tum Pe Ardas. Tu Thakur, Tum Pe Ardas. You are my Lord. You are our Lord. And you are my Master. And my prayer is before you. So not just say this, now experience this word. Experience this line in yourself, that I am standing before God and I am offering my prayer, my plea to Him. Who is this God? Omnipotent, omnipresent and omniscient God, Akal Purkh. Omnipotent means who can do anything and everything, and we all believe in that. Omnipresent, He is everywhere. He is everywhere. And omniscient, He is within me. He is within all of us. Sarv Shaktiman, Sarv Vyapi, Te Antarjami. So we have to believe that we are standing before someone who can do anything and everything, who is ever pervading, and He is the inner knower. He knows from within, so I can't trick Him in any way. I have to be totally truthful. So this is my first line when I'm uttering this. That's my first preparation. Then, Jio Pind Sab Teri Ras. I haven't got 51 pound, 101 pound or whatever. I haven't got any poshaka for you, because even my body and soul is your property. So what I have got of my own? What can I give you? I can't. So that should be total belief that I am not here to give anything to God. I am here to tell Him that I have nothing. Without you, I don't exist. It is through you I exist, and I've only got my body and pinda, body and soul, which I'm submitting to you. So I'm only submitting to you my body and soul. So this is my preparation. Think about how it will make me humble, sense of humility, sense of respect for God, sense of total faith in Him. Tum Mat Pita Hum Barik Tere. Now, beautiful words. You are my parent, you are my mother and father, and we are your children. Now it depends upon, if we don't accord respect to our worldly parents, then will we be according any respect to God? Perhaps not, but in some other episode I'll be talking about these things as well. But think, now we are standing before Him as a child stands before his parents asking for something, requesting something, in a hope and in a faith that my parents can satisfy all my needs, they will fulfill all my desires. So they will listen to me carefully and they will never do anything wrong. They won't say no for nothing. Even if they have to say no, there must be something good behind it. So this particular line gives me that kind of thinking. So I think, okay, I'm standing before my parent. Everything I have is given by them. Say they know. So in this case, my God knows everything and I'm standing before him as his child, not as someone, who is very rich or who is very sort of powerful or anything. No, nothing. I stand in humility before him. Hum barak tere. He is my parent and we are there as his children. And we are, with folded hand, we can only request. We can't order our parents to do something. We are not here to order or tell God, look, I have done so many parts, or I have given you so much money, or I have done so much to give something back to me. Everything that is with me is his. So it is, I am begging of you. I'm here pleading to you. I'm here submitting myself to you in humility. Why am I submitting to you? Why I have come to you as parent? Because I know, I have full faith that tumri kripa mein sukh kanere. In your grace, with the shower of your blessings, there are so many joys. Because he only gives sukh. He knows, he wants us to be peaceful. All our parents have been working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Think about 50s and 60s. Because they wanted us to be sukhi. They wanted us to live at peace, with peace, in peace. They wanted us to be comfortable. So Almighty God, who is the father, parent of the entire universe, why wouldn't he do that? He will do that many, many times more in this case. So we have to go there in hope, in joy, and in peace. We have to actually believe, firm belief, that all my hopes will be satisfied in the best possible way by him, and in his company, by submitting to him, I will have all the joy and peace I'm looking for. Yes, it's possible that the interpretation of joy and peace which I have, interpretation of hope which I have, may not be consistent with what God's interpretation of that is, but it is true, firmly true, that he'll satisfy all my hopes, he'll give me joy and peace. Koi na jane tumra ant. No one knows your limits. We must always remember that we, the mortals, are within limits. We are limited, whereas he has no limits. So the one within limits can never understand the vastness of the one who is limitless. Even in 21st century, up till today, koi na jane tumra ant, and experience that when we are standing there and we are actually preparing ourselves, Yes, I am standing before a judge here and his jury where there will be no miscarriage of justice, where I'll be listened to properly and the justice will be done. But at the same time, that will be a total justice, which may or may not be what I was looking for, but years later, months later, weeks later, a day later, I may find, oh, I never thought it will happen that, why it happened like that, but now I understand. Because my God wants me to grow further, develop further. And now, this is my God, universe, कोई ना जाने तुमरा अंत, पाताला पाताल, लख आगासा आगास, ओड़क ओड़क पाल थके, and still searching, yeah, we are still searching him. कोई ना जाने तुमरा अंत, we don't know his ant. But yes, it's wonderful and beautiful to be part of his vastness, to be with him. So I belong to this vastness, but I don't know how. What is the expanse of this vastness? Uche te ucha Bhagavant. And that's where highest of high, most generous God. So highest of high doesn't mean that he's up in the clouds. Highest of high means greatest of great. He is above everything. His powers are beyond anything and everything which we can think of. Highest of high, everywhere, wherever we think he exists. So, uche te ucha Bhagavant. Now think about it. I am standing before who is highest of high, who is greatest of great. No one knows his limits. And all people standing around me, they don't know his limits as well. But together we are standing in his presence. Aren't we fortunate to be there? Are we not fortunate to be part of that particular process? So I am going to give full concentration, full focus there, so that I don't miss on anything. So that I don't lose any part of this experience which I'm going to get through Ardas. Sagal samagri tumre sutar dhari. Whole creation is strung together. Huh? You have strung us together. You have beaded us together. Now think about, you are standing in the congregation and you have a relative there or a friend there or a person you don't like. God doesn't want you to do that. He has beaded us together. We are complementary to each other. Even the people who hate us, who have animosity with us, who don't like us for whatever reason, they are complement in a process. They are complete in a process standing there. Their purpose of standing there is to complete the process. So don't worry. But don't try to be distracted by that. Your focus should be Uche te ucha Bhagavant all the time. So Sagala Samagri Tumre Sutardhari, we are strung together, we are beaded together, and we are complementary to one another. So we are all Ek Pita Ek Iske Hum Barak. So now think about, easy said than done. I said before, ever-pervading God, Sarvavyapi. So if he is ever-pervading, and if he is omniscient in all of us, then we, entire universe, is a very big family, one family. I wish we could do that today, then there will be less hatred or perhaps no hatred in the world. So may God bless us with this thinking that we are, entire universe is one big family. एक पिता एक इसके हम बारक. तुम ते होए सो आज्ञाकारी. So whatever is happening, whatever, whoever has come, whatever is standing here, whatever is happening is under your command. So remember, it's His will that prevails. Sooner we accept it, more sukhi we will be, more peaceful we will be, more relaxed we will be. We have to accept that reality, that it is always His will that prevails. Yes, there are times when His will is consistent with my will, and I enjoy, and I think it's my will that has prevailed, but there are times when it doesn't, and then I start blaming God. But it's always His will that prevails, we need to remember. Tum te hoye so agyakari. So, tumri gatmit tum hi jani, O limitless God. Only you know your limits. So, tumri gatmit tum hi jani, I can only fold my hands before you. Because only you alone know your expense, your limits, your state, only you know. I don't. Very vast universe. People are not talking about multiverses. We haven't even explored our universe. We only know about 2/3 of the universe. 1/3 hasn't been even pierced into. And people are already talking about multiverses. So, tumri gatmit tum hi jani. Nanak Das sada kurbani. Very, very important. Here, 5th Nanak Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, I, your slave, is forever a sacrifice, but it is for us to say that when we are standing before Guruji, before God, we have to say to Him that I am here, I'm forever a sacrifice to you, God. You are so great, I can never find your expense, I can never describe you, but I'm here to listen to you and make my prayer to you, plea before you. So, this will be my reverence to Him all the time with folded hand and total submission, total humility, and waiting for justice, waiting to meet Him and His jury, which we'll be doing in next episode. But how we can apply in practice this particular episode is, when you are standing there preparing yourself to meet God and His jury through Ardas, you should have total focus on one God, one and only one God. Have full faith in Him. Go as a child to parent and go to submit yourself, total submission. Believe in your Ardas, very, very important. There isn't a Ardas that is not listened to by Him. He always listens to it, but then He analyzes when and when not to fulfill it. Feel its power. Experience the power of Ardas when you are doing it. And of course, add your own suggestion to the list so that you can have full benefit of Ardas as and when you want. And in the end, I will do my Ardas, which I normally do at the end of the episode. Please God, give us the art of listening, wisdom to understand, and help to apply in practice at least 1 or 2% of whatever we listen to and understand, so that we can see our lives blossoming forever and blossoming for better. With these kinds of words and prayers, I would like to take leave of you. Thank you for listening. God bless us all. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.